For 4 years, Maya was a ghost in the hallways of Northwood High. She was the girl who sat in the back, the one whose name teachers often forgot. And for 4 years, Principal Thompson never once said her name. He'd walk past her, his eyes scanning over her as if she were part of the wallpaper. She was a strata student, a volunteer, and a silent observer of everything that happened within those school walls. But to him, she was invisible. The annual farewell ceremony was a grand affair. The auditorium buzzed with excitement. Parents held cameras, and students fidgeted in their seats. Principal Thompson stood at the podium, delivering his usual speech about bright futures and endless possibilities. He called up the valedictorian, the sports captains, and the student council president. Each speech was met with polite applause. Then, he announced a new addition to the ceremony this year. The Silent Observer Award, meant to honor a student who contributes quietly. He called out a name, one he had to read carefully from his notes. Maya. A ripple of confusion went through the crowd. Who was Maya? A few of her classmates turned their heads, their faces blank. Maya slowly stood up from her seat in the very last row. As she walked towards the stage, a hush fell over the auditorium. Every eye was on her. She looked small on the big stage, clutching the microphone stand as if it were a lifeline. She took a deep breath, and the entire room seemed to hold its breath with her. She began softly, her voice barely a whisper, yet it carried through the silent hall. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maya. And for those of you who do, well, you probably don't know me very well either. A few scattered, nervous chuckles broke the silence. She looked directly at Principal Thompson. Principal Thompson, I want to thank you for this award. It's ironic, isn't it, being recognized for being silent? Her voice grew stronger, steadier. For 4 years, I've walked these halls. I've seen the triumphs and the heartbreaks. I saw Sarah in 10th grade, secretly tutoring a struggling freshman in the library every day after school, expecting nothing in return. I saw David, our star quarterback, quietly cleaning up the cafeteria after his friends left a mess, because he didn't want the janitors to have extra work. I saw moments of kindness and courage that never made it into the yearbook or onto an awards stage. She paused, her eyes sweeping across the faces of her classmates. I was the quiet girl, the one you didn't notice. But I noticed you. I saw you. I saw the struggles you hid behind smiles, and the small victories you celebrated alone. I saw the student who sat alone at lunch finally get invited to a table. I saw the teacher who stayed late to help a student who was failing, long after everyone else had gone home. These are the moments that truly define our school. Not the trophies or the titles, but the quiet acts of compassion that happen every single day. Then, her gaze returned to Principal Thompson, and her voice softened with an emotion that was raw and unfiltered. Principal Thompson, you've passed me in the hallway thousands of times. I always tried to make eye contact, to offer a small smile. But you never saw me. I was just another face in the crowd. Today, you gave me this award, and you had to read my name from a piece of paper. And I don't say that to be cruel. I say it because we are all guilty of it. We look, but we don't always see. Tears started to well up in her eyes, but she didn't let them fall. We are so focused on the loud voices that we forget to listen to the quiet ones. We celebrate the big achievements and overlook the small acts of goodness that hold our community together. My silence wasn't a choice of weakness. It was my way of observing, of learning. And what I learned is that everyone has a story. Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Everyone deserves to be seen. She looked out at her fellow students, her voice filled with a powerful mix of sadness and hope. As we leave this place, I urge you, don't just look. See the person sitting alone. See the person who's struggling to fit in. See the quiet kindness that happens all around you. Acknowledge it. A simple hello, a smile, asking someone their name. It can change a person's entire world. It could have changed mine. By now, the auditorium was completely silent, except for the sound of soft sniffles. Teachers were wiping their eyes. Students were looking at each other, really looking, Some for the first time. The popular kids, the athletes, the nerds all. Their labels seemed to melt away, and they were just a room full of young people, united by Maya's powerful words. She took one last deep breath. My name is Maya. It means illusion. For 4 years, I felt like one, but today, standing here, I feel real. Thank you for finally seeing me. She placed the microphone back on the stand. For a moment, there was complete silence. Then, one person started clapping, then another, and another, until the entire auditorium erupted into a thunderous, standing ovation that went on and on. It wasn't polite applause. It was heartfelt and raw. As Maya walked off the stage, students reached out to touch her arm, to thank her. Principal Thompson stood frozen at the podium, tears streaming down his face. He hadn't just been given a speech. He'd been given a lesson in humanity. That day, the quiet girl, the invisible ghost of Northwood High, became the most unforgettable voice of her graduating class. She taught them all that the most powerful words sometimes come from the people who have been silent the longest. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that will touch your heart.